Hey, it's Stacy again. So I have not made a video like I thought I was going to be able to make every 2 weeks. I've been super busy. So last time I made a video, I think I was 7 weeks exact. I'm not really sure. I don't really remember. But today I am 13 weeks and 0 days, which means I am in my 14th week, which also means I'm finally out of my first trimester, which is nice because now the morning sickness definitely has gone away. I've only thrown up once since maybe a week before Thanksgiving, and that was yesterday. I threw up, and that wasn't anything to do with morning sickness or anything like that. I actually had taken my husband to work and had my son in the car with us, and on the way to work my son started throwing up, so I just basically had to keep him kind of contained and whatnot while we were on the interstate. And finally, after I got home, I started cleaning it up, and it was like 6 o'clock in the morning, so it was dark outside still, and I had to undress my son in the yard with just a diaper on, and it's like maybe 60 degrees. It was actually kind of warm. 60 degrees or whatever, and he's sitting there crying, and I'm trying to clean up all the throw up that was thrown up everywhere. It was all over everything, and it smelled so bad, and I just could not deal with it anymore. And I've never actually thrown up from his throw up or my husband's throw up or anything like that. So I was just sitting there on my knees in my yard cleaning up throw up and then throwing up myself, and then doing it again and throwing up again. And it was just, I'm really, really glad it actually happened really early in the morning, because if it did not happen early in the morning and somebody saw that, they would definitely think I did not have my crap together. It was quite embarrassing, but it is what it is. Everybody basically in the house is sick right now besides me. I kind of am sick a little bit, but not like my husband. My husband has like the cold, but like times a million. And then my son is, I think he may be just getting over like a stomach bug, since he's had diarrhea for the past couple of days and threw up as well. Anyways, about my pregnancy, so I follow what to expect on my iPhone, and it says I'm 13 weeks and 0 days, which is the second trimester. The baby is as big as a peach, which is about 3 inches long, so that's fun. I usually actually don't go by what to expect measurements, because they are a little off, because when I understand that they want to compare it to something that we would know and whatnot, like a peach, but when I think of a peach, I think of a peach, not a peach. So I do like to actually go to Baby Center. They have an app out there that follows your pregnancy as well. And it says I'm in my 13th week, which is, today is December 6th, which is actually my son. He is 21 months today, which I'm excited. Anyways, and it basically tells you on here what everything is. I don't think this one actually on Baby Center actually tells you how long excuse me, your baby is and whatnot, but they usually are better about what the measurements are and where you actually really are, on what to expect. They really like their boards on there and whatnot. I usually don't like going on there so early in my pregnancy, because there's before the second trimester, there's a really big percentage of you being able to miscarry the baby because of something happening or something being wrong with the baby. And so I really usually don't try and read the boards until I'm after my second week or second trimester, because it's really depressing, and being hormonal I cry over stupid stuff anyways, so reading other people and losing babies and stuff is just, it's really heartbreaking. So I usually try and stay off it there. I try, but obviously it's, some of it's really fun and funny to watch, like when everybody's complaining about their husbands being awful and not understanding what they're going through and how their hormones are freaking them out when they cry over like a Carter's commercial or something, which is obviously weird to think about. So yeah, with being 13 or basically 14 weeks or whatever, I have had a lot going on since I was 7 weeks when I last made a video. I have gone to the hospital, I think twice, to the emergency room. Both times, well, the first time my doctor couldn't see me and they just basically told me just to go to the nearest emergency room. I had stomach cramps and I had gone to bed with them, and my husband was on duty, which means he's on his ship for 24 hours and he can't come off. And I had just gone to bed with the cramps or whatever, and I woke up at like maybe like a couple times that night or whatever, and it kind of got worse and worse and worse. Then I finally woke up at 7 o'clock and I couldn't move, and like my stomach was like extremely bloated and very like contracted, and like it was very hard and it hurt really bad. And I finally was able to reach my phone and call my husband, and I was crying to him saying that I think there's something majorly wrong, and like my stomach, I couldn't move without holding my belly as hard as I could to try and like, I guess, turn over and whatnot. And I couldn't get out of bed to go get my son, who was in his room crying, because there's a baby gate in there, so we can't just walk around. And so he finally was able to get home, and we went to the emergency room, and they ran tests. They took like a urine sample and everything like that. Everything came up normal. And so they just basically said they couldn't see what was wrong. Besides my stomach, my uterus was really, really contracted and it wasn't going down. And they sat there and said maybe it was gas, but I sat there and told them that I didn't think it was gas because I didn't feel gassy at the time. But it ended up going away later that day and whatnot, which is good, because I literally thought my like appendix were going to burst. That's how bad it was. Another reason why I went to the hospital, which was I think on the 1st, so it was like 6 days ago, was what was it for? Oh yeah, I am Rh negative, which means I don't have a certain antibody in my red blood cells or white blood cells. I don't remember which one. But which means that since my blood type is A negative, any kind of negatives after whatever you are, if you're AB negative, B negative, O negative, or A negative, you have to get this shot if you start bleeding. And I got this all last pregnancy. I got it when I was 5 weeks, and then 12 weeks after. It only lasts for 12 weeks, and then a day after I gave birth I had to get it again. But it's basically, if you start bleeding, you have a high chance of your blood mixing with the baby's blood, and then your body will think that the baby is foreign and it will start rejecting it, and you'll obviously have a miscarriage. And it can happen at any time during pregnancy, which means if I'm 30 weeks, my body can easily reject the baby at any given moment and I can have a miscarriage. So I have to get these shots, and they only last 12 weeks, which means I have to get them obviously often. And you have to get them in your butt and like the top of your butt. So those aren't usually fun, but it is what it is when you're pregnant. You basically, at the very end, you don't really care what happens. You just want the baby out and as healthy as possible. So I got that on the 1st. So that was super fun. I had to wait in the hospital for like I think 4.5 hours, and I had no problems. Like it didn't hurt. Like I didn't have any cramping or anything. It was right after intercourse, and that's what had happened. My doctor had told me even after that, like so silly, that I needed to come in and go get the shot immediately. So we knew that we immediately had to come in. So we did that, and I knew nothing was wrong with the baby. We got to see the baby and everything like that, which was my husband's first time seeing this baby on the ultrasound. But they were running a whole crap load of tests, like urine tests, blood tests, everything like that. And I kept just saying, I'm fine, we just need the shot. That's all we need. We've done this a million times. This is definitely not our first time getting this done. But they obviously, in the ER, has to get everything that they need to get, especially when you're pregnant. So that was super, super duper fun. And that was also when my husband was supposed to be on duty, which seems to happen anytime he's supposed to be on the ship. Something happens with my pregnancy. So, yeah. And that shot is called Rogam. If anybody's ever had that, you know how fun that is. A big change with this pregnancy is I am getting much larger in my belly than I did last pregnancy. I didn't start showing until I was maybe 7.5 months pregnant. I would have friends stop me and be like, you don't even look pregnant. And I would be like, oh, trust me, there is a baby in there and whatnot. But now, only being 3 months pregnant, I basically look like I am 4 months pregnant. I don't want to show you guys because I don't have any pants on. I just have a shirt on. But my belly is definitely much larger than it was last time. I'm still in all my clothes though, my regular clothes, because I have lost a lot of weight. So that's, I mean, it is what it is. Last time I didn't really get out of my pregnancy clothes until way late, and I stayed in them. Basically, I just unbuttoned my pants and then put a belly band on and just kind of went like that, or wore leggings. And leggings, obviously, we all know they stretch and stretch and stretch and stretch. So that's basically what I'm doing still, besides I can now still button my pants. That's what I do. Oh, another thing I need to say is I'm excited. I don't know if I mentioned this in my last my last video. My last appointment my actual last prenatal appointment that was actually scheduled and stuff. They actually, because my son when he was born, he had a shoulder dystocia, which means that he kind of got stuck in my birth canal because my hip bones are too like together or something, and he couldn't pass through them. And he was only 7 pounds and 10 ounces, I think, or 7.12, I don't know. But he couldn't really fit in there, so when they were pulling on him, they kind of like moved his head weird or whatever and just kept pulling. So he had like a lot of nerve damage done in his right side through his arm, and had basically they had said to me that possibly he may never be able to use his right arm again because of all the nerve damage. And he basically didn't use his right arm for the first 6 months of his life, and anytime you touch it, he would scream and stuff, and it was really concerning, especially because my mom has worked in daycare with from 6 weeks old babies to when you're out of daycare for like 10 or 15 years or something like that. And she had told me that she has never seen anything like this, which is also concerning because she, of all people, I trust, and it's scary to hear somebody with so much experience say that they've never seen this, especially when it's your own child. So that was really concerning. So my doctor, I mentioned it to my doctor at the appointment that we did have a little bit of complication with that, and I don't want to have that happen again, but I don't want a C-section because they were trying to push me for a C-section last time, and I didn't want to do that. So she said that They'll probably do a few more ultrasounds than they usually do, which I last time only got 3 ultrasounds, which was like beginning, middle, and then, oh no wait, maybe I only got 2. I only got 2. I got one at the beginning at 5 weeks, and then one at 20 weeks for the gender, and that was it. So they said that they'll probably be doing, they will be doing actually, a few more ultrasounds during the pregnancy after finding out if it's a girl or boy, in case, to make sure how large the baby is. They want me to deliver a small baby, which means that they probably will be taking the baby 2 to 1 week before my due date, which is nice because, I mean, if you think about it, I mean, who really wants to be pregnant for 40 weeks? That's a really long time. That's a stinking long time. So I just really don't. If you could get this baby out like literally a day before my due date, and I know that it's coming a day before my due date, I will be so happy. So I mean, 1 to 2 weeks earlier, like, ecstatic, as long as the baby's healthy, obviously. So yeah, I'm really excited about that. So yeah, anyways, I will definitely let everybody go. So I need to edit this, make it probably 10 minutes long, and yes. Okay, bye.